So welcome back. Just setting up the... Hey Bob, welcome back. Nice to see you as well. And there we go, that works now. Just let me go connect with Brennelt. So, moin Brennelt.
Oh, good evening.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. I hope not too
Already
tired.
online?
Yeah, we're already live, yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, so just to make sure that I have the right flight, so we're going from West Telemark Airport to Lister, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, good.
And don't forget to start the smart cars.
Yeah, have it running. I just need to press on fly once I'm loaded in.
Yeah. That's a button I always forget. And then I have to land and push it again and then take off.
Mark, thank you much for changing the title. Yeah, so we are on Microsoft Flight Sim, obviously, and we're flying the Kodiak. Brendel, did you see the new aircraft that came out? There was a Boeing, what's it called? Propeller aircraft.
247.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, but I haven't seen that much from it. I haven't seen live video, so. But it's a very basic aircraft. Not the add-on itself, but it's a technique from before VORs were invented.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think it's very basic to fly. You have to have some navigational knowledge here.
Okay. Yeah, I saw
pretty much VFR flying.
Yeah, I saw Flight Tech to Sim stream it, so I saw a replay of that yesterday, and I thought, yeah, it's just something. Hey QB, it's just something. I don't know, aircraft that doesn't really fascinate me too much, so I'm probably not going to get it. I'm going to get the was it BAE 146?
Yes, that's a must for me as well.
And of course the 414 Cessna.
Yeah. I heard from multiple sources that aircraft should be nice. Good modeled and yeah, should be interesting.
So I'm trying to get. I need to go.
I'm on parking spot number 1 here.
Yeah, I can see that. So I just need to go back again to options.
Yeah.
So general options, and it was traffic, data. Yeah. So somebody asked me if photogrammetry is on. Yeah. So photogrammetry is on for me. Multiplayer on. That was it.
Yeah, photogrammetry on is a must-have.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody was asking me if I have that on. Yeah. Yeah. So I do.
Yeah.
Right. All players. That's good. Are we going live weather or?
No, I would recommend to use manual weather. But first of all, I would say come online and then we change the weather.
Today I had a really weird experience. So I installed Innsbruck again, and yeah, spawned it on the runway, and switched to live weather, and suddenly I had snow everywhere, and it was actually 15 degrees plus in the weather. So
That's strange.
Yeah, I thought that's weird. Right. So
yeah, but the question is where they get the metadata from. Maybe it's all data or from a different airport, not from Innsbruck itself.
Okay, I'm in.
When you use live weather here, you will have snow as well.
Okay.
And in my opinion, it's not that beautiful like it is when you fly with green landscape. It's more interesting.
Yep. Okay, so what weather have you set?
I set first of all clear skies, and I have 1700 local time.
Okay.
And then I have 5 kilometers wind from 350.
Okay.
And if you like, you can add a cloud layer as well with some clouds for a little bit more colors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all set. Joker, yeah, so I did leave Twitch because of personal reasons. So I have some issues with them regarding the way they treat their smaller streamers. Yeah, so I had a discussion with my. Well, you have a person that is responsible for your, well, for you, and a nice guy, but he just would not listen to any of my concerns or my wishes. And then when they leaked all the personal data, they completely ignored my request, giving me infos on what they leaked. Even though according to European law they would have had to tell me, but they just completely ignored me, and that's just something I couldn't accept anymore. Brennell, I am not seeing you, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can see you as well. What the reason is, you are on the same place than me.
Oh, really? Oh, that's why.
And yeah, and then I'm getting excluded for you.
Ah, okay.
But when we are moving, then it's working.
Okay.
So you should maybe enter a little flight plan.
Yeah, let me just.
I think only approach procedure. I did not start it up.
So smart cast is running.
Very good. I will move a little bit forward.
So, right. Good. So we are going to flight plan. So origin is.
Enter the origin black box. Simply press procedure and then approach. Select approach, enter.
So that was Enly.
Yeah, then press on the white button there, and then you can type it.
Yep, entered.
And then use the visual approach for runway. I don't know the number right now.
3-2 probably.
2, yeah, 3-2.
With straight in or?
Straight, yes.
Good. Minimum's off. And then we go activate. Okay, yep, all done.
Very good.
So let me see if I remember how to start the aircraft up again. Ignition on. That is in. Oh no, it's delete my viewpoints again. Are you kidding me?
Maybe you use an different livery.
Oh, I know. Oh, disregard. I know why. Hang on. Whoops.
Famous last words. Oops. Black box. Oh, disappeared. Ah, yeah, no device detected.
So there we go.
Ah, what happened?
I need to get my yoke.
Ah, okay, I understand.
Although it still doesn't have my viewpoints, unfortunately. So that's...
Yeah, maybe you selected a different livery than before. Then you have to set the viewpoints again.
All right. Cool. So fuel's on. Let's press the starter. Low idle. Is the Kodiak worth the money? I just got recently into flying GA and have heard that it's basically more smaller, more powerful. Well, I guess in combination with the Garmin 1000 here, which is a freeware as well, it really makes it nice and complete because the avionics here is very good indeed. So you can fly RNAV, and it's very versatile. It's a very versatile aircraft to fly with. You can do all these bush trips. We've seen it in Papua New Guinea.
If you like to hear my opinion, in my opinion, the Kodiak is one of the best aircraft in MSFS ever, and I would say yes, it's worth the money.
Okay, there we go.
100%.
And Brendel does a lot of GA flying, a lot more than I do.
Yeah. And I already have, I think, 100 hours on the Kodiak. It's a very nice aircraft.
Good. I would be ready to go.
Very good. Blackbox, I learned something from the videos of the missionary bush pilot.
Mm-hmm.
The time before, I always thought we are taking off with flaps 10 degrees,
yeah,
but it's wrong.
Oh.
They always use flaps 20 degrees.
Oh wow, okay, interesting.
So I changed my procedure in that regard.
So flaps 20 it is.
Okay, we will do intersection takeoff. I think the runway is long enough.
Mm-hmm.
After taking off, we will climb a little bit, then we will do a right turn, almost 180 or more degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, sorry, disregard. We do a left turn into a valley there. I changed the plan one time.
I'll just follow you then. Oh, are you taking off? Or no, you're not. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
in this
do.
direction. I thought you were going to take off in a different direction.
Sorry.
I was like, oh, he's taxing fast.
Yeah, as I said, we do an intersection takeoff already from here.
Right, let's go.
Okay, I will do as slow as I can.
Wow, there's a lot of rudder.
Yeah, it is.
Coronado's
The wind is very, very strange here.
Love to take. Oh, I love it. So the Coronado is bringing out the PC-12. Oh, that's a nice one. If that's good, well simulated, then definitely worth getting. Yeah.
Yeah, but we all know Coronado,
Yeah.
and I have the information that Simberg Studios, which made the Kodiak, bring out the PC-12 as well.
Oh no, really? Okay.
They are working on it, but I don't know a release date. Maybe it needs several months. I don't know.
Nice. Right, your damper on. See you there. Climb power.
So cruise would be 4,000. And when you can see the valley on the left, we will go into the valley.
The Joker, I assume you were flying in real life, actually last 5 days, yes. Yeah, so Joker, I talked about it on the first stream. Yesterday was quite exciting. Good night to Voyager, mach's gut, bleib gesund, schönes Wochenende. So yeah, we had the issue really that we couldn't find a valid Author airport initially. So we had to take Malpensa. Going to Frankfurt, we actually had Milano Malpensa as our alternate airport.
Where did you came from?
Portugal.
Oh, okay.
So it was a 2-hour flight, and then the problem was, yeah, because of the wind and the storms, all the airports near Frankfurt were, well, they all had what we call threats. So because of the high winds. So for a valid plan B, we actually had to look further out, and the first airport that we had that was without threats was Milan Malpensa.
What's overtaking me here?
Yeah, so I'm wondering how come I'm so,
me.
yeah, how come I'm so fast? Hang on.
So then let's go on course.
So directly, or you want to go?
I go now on flight plan, then press the button. Go with the cursor on straight, then press the direct button and enter. And then you can activate nav, I would say.
So direct, straight, enter, and nav. Autopilot on. Let's go altitude 4,000. Yeah, so as we departed, normally what we would think is that as we get closer to our destination airport, you know, you check all the weather all the time.
1,000.
And then at some point you would find a valid plan B airport near your destination. But yesterday, because of the weather situation that we had, it was impossible. Even, you know, things like Brussels or Paris, Luxembourg, all these airports, Hanover, you know, they all had gusts up to 35 and more. So as we approached Paris, and we were coming towards Luxembourg, we already got told by air traffic control to reduce speed because of holding in Frankfurt. And at the time, as we were about over Paris, that storm front, it was like a squall line. It actually came in to Frankfurt Airport, and that's what caused the airport to close down for a couple of minutes. And then, you know, aircraft coming in, actually being told to do holding patterns. And yeah, that's when we came in, they had opened the airport again, but the problem was that obviously there's a queue, right? So lots of aircraft holding east and west of the airport, and we had to enter holding at level 200. And so the problem was that we needed to quickly find a valid plan B alternate airport, and that was then luckily Hanover Airport, because Hanover was already on the backside of that front, so they had clear weather, and the wind actually was less than 30 knots there, and so we could actually change then to take Hanover as our alternate airport, which, you know, required a lot less wind compared to less fuel compared to Milano, and so we had some more holding fuel available. Otherwise, we would have had to divert after 10 minutes of holding. Yeah, Willy Boy, I guess that's more like April weather. Yeah, so after about 20 minutes holding, we started the approach, and we actually managed to successfully land in Frankfurt. Yeah, but it was exciting. Yeah, it was the last day of a 5-day rotation, which was quite strenuous. Lots of flying, lots of long hours, and you know, having to divert on the last day. And if we had to divert to Milano, that would have been it, because of our duty time. We would not have been able to continue after that. This scenery is beautiful, Reynolds. I'm absolutely loving it.
It's really beautiful. So all that small lakes here you don't see them when they are all covered with snow.
Yeah.
That was the reason for me to say let's fly with manual weather.
Yeah, absolutely. At daytime.
By the way, I climbed to 4,500 because there are some little bit higher hills in front of us. This is one of the more impressive legs here I can remember from my tour.
Yeah. And Stavanger is more on the coastline, obviously, but...
Yeah. The first one is Lista. It is a nice airport as well. It's lying on a small island. I think we approaching over the water. It's looking good. It's an interesting airport, also able with an airliner.
Okay. Wow.
Has about 9,000 feet runway.
Well, no, Francisco, the thing is, regarding these decisions, it's, you know, the things we do is there, or these procedures are there because it makes flying safe. You know, even though you may think, hey, but that's, you know, that's that, like, you know, wasting fuel, you know, well, why don't you take Paris, you know, with, you know, 30 knots wind? You can land there, you can do this, you're a good pilot. Well, it's about managing risk. Because we all know 30 knots winds in certain airports can always cause wind shears, they can cause issues. And it's just the fact that you are running... So when you divert to your alternate airport with your minimum required fuel, you are talking about 30 minutes remaining flight time at your alternate airport. And that's not much. Imagine you doing your approach with 30-minute remaining flight time, and you have to go around because of the wind, or you know, you mess up the approach. Then you would talk about 15 minutes that you have, you know, once you start the approach, 15 minutes of you know that the next landing has to count, otherwise, you know, you're gonna have to ditch the aircraft because the engines will stop working. So you don't want to get yourself into that corner, and that's why we say that our alternate airport has to be such that there's no threats present, so weather threats or operational threats. That's really important.
If you can find a nice alternate airport, then the flight will be cancelled?
It could be cancelled, or in our case, if we say, you know, there's no valid plan B with the fuel that we have on board, so we can't reach one, well, we have to do a fuel stop somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So our company says to us, if you do not have a valid plan B alternate airport, then you have to land somewhere to refuel the aircraft, and then plan again with an airport that is, you know, good enough. Do you remember, guys, the previous storm where they had aircraft diverting from Heathrow? There was one case, British Airways, they diverted to Zurich.
Wow.
Right. Because two reasons. One, because of the weather situation, and two, Zurich Airport is an airport that can handle the A380 well. Paris could have handled the A380 as well, same as Frankfurt, but both Paris and Frankfurt had the same kind of wind conditions. So again, they did the same kind of, you know, threat and error management. TEM, exactly. So threat and error management. Just to make sure you have a good alternate airport without any risks.
And have you found a refueling airport with good wind where you could land?
Yeah, so we had to take Milano, Malpensa.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, you know, that's the thing. So coming from Frankfurt, that's pretty far away. That's a lot of fuel you have to take on just to get you to your alternate airport, and that actually reduced our capability to hold for a long time at Frankfurt. Man, I just can't get over the scenery here. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I love it. Very beautiful. Herbert flew the same route we flew right now here, and he said it's so lonely region.
Yeah.
Simply nothing.
Yeah.
No road, no house, no nothing. When you have a problem here and you have to come down, then you have a problem.
Yeah.
Then you have to walk for days to the next house.
You can only hope that you have a mobile connection. So actually,
yeah,
awesome.
I don't think you have a mobile connection here. Here are no radio cells, mobile cells. You need a satellite phone, but who has the satellite phone.
Right, QB, you asked, have you tried Apache yet? I have, but not much. So I'm really still struggling setting the aircraft up with all the controls. And QB asks, is there any special procedure in place as of right now regarding fuel because of increased oil prices? Well, yeah, we're using so we are moving away from the standard cost index, the COVID cost index, and we're actually moving now to the fuel-related or fuel price-related cost index. So it could be that, yeah, depending on the routing, depending on the price of the fuel where we have to refuel the aircraft, we have a variable cost index again. Did you see the Russia will start making the Tupolev Tu-140 again as part of protest of Boeing? And well, I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, that's to be expected. You know, that's their right to do. Right? Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happened with the 777 from Air France. And of course the 737 crash in China as well. So this year is actually starting out to be quite a bad year for aviation again. Lots of accidents. The DHL 757, I think it was, crash landing. So this is actually a bit of a longer distance to fly, 17 minutes to go. That's fine, that's not too bad.
Yeah, this was a longer leg here. I think the next one is a short one. Let me see.
But again, I mean, this beautiful countryside makes up for it.
The next one is 24 minutes. This here was 34 minutes. And if you like, the next one is 25 minutes.
Beautiful.
Oh, I can see some streets and small houses down below there.
Yeah, QB, I'm kind of monitoring the situation with the 787 right now and the 777X. So hearing the fact that they have, I think, about 90 787 already built, completely ready, but FAA refusing to certify them because of some production error. Then the 777 not getting their certification as quickly as hoped. Yeah, so lots of delays for them.
I don't know why it's always Boeing who have all these issues. Never Airbus, always Boeing.
Well, I mean, the A350 has issues with paint, I think.
Yeah, paint.
Well, I mean, it still can be quite damaging to the airframe regarding corrosion and so on. But yeah, QB. Well, I mean, I don't do decisions on which airframe to get, but yeah, I think look at the history of Boeing. It used to be a very reliable, aircraft manufacturer, and now they've got a lot of issue at that. And remember the Neo with the engines initially? That was always a bit of a downside. I mean, relatively minor compared to what Boeing is having. Oh, look at that. Well, I wouldn't say that Boeing have become corrupt, but I would say that Boeing have focused too much on the share price instead of you know, looking after their employees and the mentality. And I remember BBC made a documentary about working conditions at the new plant in, was it Alabama, where they weren't allowed to have unions. And so the quality of these aircraft being built there went down so drastically. And I remember that some airlines refused to take aircraft that were manufactured in that plant. So that was already quite scandalous back then, and I don't know. And now going back to, you know, with the image being somewhat broken at the moment, trying to go back to, you know, becoming again a, you know, reliable company that has really motivated staff, and I don't know, it's going to cost a lot of money. What could be the part? Yeah, sorry, Sabrina, go ahead.
No, if you're on the same theme, then continue, please.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I have an interesting information for you.
Okay.
I do fly to Italy on Sunday.
Nice.
We will fly over the Alps, and our destination is Elba.
Oh, lovely. And that's with Herbert.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely. Oh, wow. The weather's
we are planned to return on Wednesday.
Okay. And the weather's going to get better, isn't it, over the next weekend?
Yeah, they say on Sunday the weather starts to get good, and it should stay good until Wednesday.
Nice.
But maybe when the weather will turn bad, then we have to return earlier. But we are dynamic.
Make sure to make lots of pictures, please.
Yeah, I will do.
Okay. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Joker asked what could be the reasons: shortage of pilots, longer working hours, maybe shortage of mechanics, fitting services, inflation, well, I've been critical for some time now regarding the path airlines have been on and the way people are looking at transportation with aircraft or air transportation. People have been getting used to the fact that prices are dropping and dropping and dropping. People have been used to flying from let's exaggerate a bit, from Cologne to Mallorca for 10 euros. Right? They've been getting used to it because so many airlines were offering these cheap tickets for such a long time. The problem is, and exactly the point you're making is, well, revenue will be lower on these flights, so they're going to be having to save money on other things. And I'm not saying they're saving money on good maintenance or good training for pilots and flight attendants. I'm just saying that somewhere that money has to be saved. And
good night, Black Box.
Lee, mach's gut. Danke, ja, schönes Wochenende. Ja, du auch. Stay safe. Dankeschön. And so my criticism has always been the fact that there has been some groups of people being exploited, and wages just not being high enough to really justify the work that they're doing. It's not just aviation; it's a lot of other industries as well. But the thing now is, and this is not my imagination, or this is actually fact. The fact is, and you've been reading in the newspapers as well, the fact is airports have issues with having enough staff. Right. So because of Corona, they fired a lot of people, especially those with short-term contracts. They've paid incentives for people to leave. Those people that have left have found other jobs because the market in general has been fairly good, at least in Germany. So they have found jobs elsewhere. And so now, even if you ask those people that have previously worked at airports, as baggage handlers, at check-in personnel, you name it, they are not coming back. They found better jobs, better paying jobs. So we've reached the point, at least that's my opinion, we've reached a point where the pay, the working conditions for many, many people in certain areas having to do with aviation, they're just not getting paid enough. So you would have to increase, the normal wages. You would have to increase, certain, things like, certain add-on packages like social security, etc., etc. Payment in case of illness, those sort of things. And of course, that means things will get more expensive again. Right? But that's at the point right now where we are. We just do not have enough staff for the immensely quickly returning lust for people to fly and travel again. So as I've said it, and I remember saying it about a year ago, I was saying, look, if things pick up, the issue is you have the aircraft. They're all there. They're parked. They haven't been scrapped. They've just been parked in long-term storage. So once demand picks up again, the machines, so the aircraft, they are there. They'll be back really quickly. But the problem is you're going to have a shortage of people at some point, of staff. And the same you can see in the US, Asia, shortage of pilots, because nobody was hiring, so nobody was accepting the risk of becoming a pilot. So now they have the issue. They have to cancel flights. They have to stop flying on certain routes because they have not enough pilots.
We are getting close to the top of descent. I would recommend to dial in 400 feet and press VNAV.
So somebody is asking if you could do LPV approaches. I think you can, right?
We can, but we need an airport which is capable for LPV.
Yeah, but in general, the aircraft itself.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. I think we will have a LPV approach on this tour on one of the next legs.
Nice. Right, VNAV is armed.
What is the procedure when you will get a long-term stored aircraft back to business? Do you know?
It depends. It depends. I think Jordan knows that better than I do, but it all depends on how long it was stored and what checks are required. But it doesn't take that long. That's the thing. I was surprised how quickly you could get these aircraft back into the air.
Don't have to do a big check with the aircraft?
Well, it is. It is a comprehensive check, but it's not like a what called D check or anything that takes 2 months or something like that. It's something that takes a couple of days. But I'm pretty sure that quite often you don't even have to do a check flight. You just do the maintenance actions and that's it. Off it goes.
I think when the aircraft was stored about a half year or so, it is not good for the engines and for some other turning devices on the aircraft, the gears and so.
Yeah, but again, I don't know the details on what has to be done. I'm not a mechanic, unfortunately, so. But I know from the fact that we had lots of aircraft in long-term storage and they came back really quickly, so I don't think it's too complicated.
Okay.
But definitely, they are checked thoroughly, no doubt. So all the systems are checked thoroughly.
Do you have turbulences right now here in the simulator?
No, all good.
I have a lot of turbulences.
Okay.
Are you sure you activated the wind?
Yeah, I did put in 5 knots. Yeah. Well, it says
5 kilometers from 350.
Oh,
yeah,
so
exactly.
10. Well, if I put more, then yeah, then it gets a bit bumpy.
Yeah, don't exaggerate it, because the simulator will not simulate the wind correctly.
Livestreams, you know. Ektoras, yes, yeah, the videos, all the videos I show here, either in the intro or during the stream, those are my videos, yeah. The enough path, down we go. Wow, it's absolutely gorgeous here.
Very beautiful. Yeah, the coastline is here. So, prop full and low idle.
Yeah, Bonnie. Okay, thanks. Yeah, again, I you know, I don't know exactly how long it takes, but yeah, those aircraft have been, you know, coming out of the storage very quickly, and the fact is they are back online, but there's just not enough pilots or flight attendants, and then in combination at the moment with the fact that you have a lot of people having COVID, having to be quarantined. And that's, you know, that's actually making things a lot worse at the moment. So I can advise anybody going on a flight, you know, especially over Easter time now, make sure that you get to the airport early, and I mean early. We heard Geep, one of our friends here, talk about his wife needing 7 hours to get through security and check-in, or check-in and security, yeah. 7 hours.
Oh, I have again a generator failure. What's that?
Yeah, so...
The switch was off for some reason. Don't know why.
Maybe keybind something.
Yeah, probably.
Cloud Dancer, buonasera. How are you doing?
So, turning final.
Oh, Bonnie, you're doing your ATP on this. Oh, nice. All the best for that. Yeah, Oyst, I am. So, Brennelt has donated money for me to buy the Cessna 414. The thing is, I didn't want to do it today because it would not have justified, you know, buying it, because I would not have had time to practice with it. So I will buy it, and I think next week I should be able to show it here. Wow, I mean the scenery is so incredible. Again guys, this tour is available on the oneengineout.com website. So it's a virtual airline. And today I saw again we had about 10 people flying today on the network for us. Really cool.
And everything is without cost. It's
yeah, completely free. Yeah. Even the smart cars logging software, there's a basic version that's free as well. Again, I find it so impressive. You can just simply program in your Visual Approach so easily.
Yeah, the avionics software will getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
Today I saw a video of the TBM 960, the new one.
Well. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
And they have an automatic return to home button. If something happens, even a passenger can press on it and the aircraft will land fully automatically.
Yeah. Mind-boggling. Right, let's slow down. Pops forward. In the white band, we can start second flaps. There's the runway, look at that. 1,000 check flaps.
I have a lot of crosswind here, even with 5 kilometers.
Thank you much, Cloud Dancer. Okay, really?
Yeah, I entered 5 kilometers. The windsurge is fully deployed.
Oh no, oh yeah.
And I have a lot of crosswind.
That bug is still there then?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Well, I've got 11. It shows 11 knots from the right, so a little bit of crosswind, yes.
I would guess if you have the same bug than me, then you have at least 35, 40 knots crosswind.
Okay, no, I have 13, I think. Although you mean like it's indicating only 13, and it's a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay. Radio callouts and GA, is that cheating? No, it's not.
500.
Yeah, I will simply stop here on the runway, on the middle of the runway, then we can enter the next leg.
So the cool thing is, you get your virtual glide slope here as well.
Yeah, you can press approach and it works.
Yeah. So you can do it this way as well. There we go. Now we've got a flight director as well. Nice. Hey, Sim Caesar, nice to see you. I hope you're doing good. I don't know, Sim Caesar, did you get my messages on Discord?
300.
I hope you're well. Yeah, and Sim Caesar again, I'm hoping that at some point we can do another shared flight together. Yeah, aileron into the wind, absolutely, yeah.
200.
And keep it in, even after touchdown. Oh yeah, the windsock is from the right, but I've got, it says 9 knots. It doesn't feel as if it's too much. Feels alright.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Come on, oh. Do it, you can do it. There we go, and aileron into the wind. Easy on the brakes. Wow, there's a lot of left rudder here.
Very nice landing, Black Box. Much better than mine.
Well, if you had a lot more wind than I did, so.
Yeah, it was crazy wind here. I don't know why it is here in my simulator more than yours. Already on the cruise flight, I had a lot of turbulences.
Was it butter? I hope so. I'm happy with it. So we didn't crash. I mean, so let's set the park and brake. Finish this flight. Pirate. And let
So the next airport supports LPV approaches.
Oh, nice. So somebody was asking regarding if we do. So we are going to do an LPV just for demonstration purposes.
Yeah, we can do.
Next airport. So tour center. Norway tour. Pirate has been filed. So now we are flying from Lister to Stavanger. And I've been there in real life with the 737 many times. Even though I had a night stop at Stavanger. Really nice. Okay, smart cars are started. And you got to take off straight away, or are we turning around?
Hey, we turning take off straight away. It's long enough.
Right, I am ready.
Already activated the next leg in smart
Good
cars
night,
and
Black
programmed
Box.
your GPS.
Oh no, that I didn't do. Okay, so
Okay.
so let's go. Forward. Good night to you. Mach's gut. So we are going to go to Echo November Zulu Victor Stavanger.
So we will use the runway 19 at this time.
So we are going to do select approach. And so LPV 29 or 36?
29.
LPV 29. Enter. And via.
We can use, I think, the OCPO. We have OCPO, yes, we have OCPO.
Okobo? Oh, you mean Okobo?
Okobo, yeah.
Yeah.
Minimum
half
The
minute.
LPV minimum is about 360 feet if you want to enter.
Okay.
And then dial all the way down to activate and press enter on activate. And I think cruise would be at 3000.
Okay.
Already dialed in 3000.
Okay, all activated. 3,000 feet
So-
is set. Flaps are 20.
Flaps on 20. Pack trim. And high idle. Then we're good to go.
Ready.
Taking off.
Why did we park middle of the runway? Well, because it's not about taxiing, it's about flying. Yeah, a lot of right aileron, obviously, for takeoff. Easy on the power. Careful with the rudder.
Rudder's so sensitive in this aircraft here, in this simulator.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Lots of very smooth inputs. There we go. Now you can see the aircraft banking a bit to the right. And then once you're airborne, just relax on the rudder, let the aircraft weather vane into the wind. Flaps coming in. The rudder trim is always, I don't know, it's something, that's one thing I haven't gotten used to. It's really sensitive.
400.
And we're going on a direct course, Reynolds, correct?
Yes, direct, exactly. Have a look back after takeoff.
Yep.
Looking nice.
So we've got GPS, vertical speed, alt select 3000.
Can't see you anymore.
Wow, it's a lot of wind apparently. Look at the waves. Gorgeous. 3 streams, well, yeah, I mean, it's like always like an hour time or 2 hours. So I can sleep in tomorrow as well, so that's why we're doing a longer stream today. And I have not been able to stream so much, so I have a bit of catching up to do. Francisco, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Take care. Have a great weekend. I think I can hear you, Reynolds. I don't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, for me to say, maybe we are so close. Yes, I can see you. You are a little bit below me. Coming up now.
Oh, there we are. Okay,
I'm
there we, yeah,
already on 3000.
yeah. Got you in sight. There
We
are.
do closed formation flying here.
Yep.
But it's like in reality. When we do our real life flights with 2 aircrafts, we are flying very close together as well.
Are you going to be 2 aircraft to Italy as well, or?
Not this time 1 aircraft. But you know the Michael, we do lots of flight together.
Yep.
And then we are, I think, a couple of 100 meters apart from each other. So now we come to the Fjordlands.
Beautiful.
When you have a look to the right side, you already can see some.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have an interesting idea, Blackbox.
Yeah.
You know that water ports are supported in the simulator here.
Okay.
I have the idea to make a water plane tour.
Nice.
I
So
think it could be interesting.
Yeah.
I have a lot of water ports in Norway or in Alaska, and maybe there we can do something like that.
do you know the Cessna? I know the Cessna Caravan has a float airplane version as well. Do you know if the 414 has float versions?
I would say no.
It's
It's not an aircraft for this yet. It's too big, too heavy, and it's more travel aircraft, business aircraft. But I think the Kodiak, some version of the Kodiak have
awesome.
float.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's definitely.
And interestingly, there is aircraft add-on with the Grumman Goose, with two big radial aircraft engines. Maybe you know it. I think it's available for MSFS.
So QB says do Maldivian air taxi.
Yeah, maybe interesting as well. But I think it after 2 or 3 legs it will getting bored. But here in the fjords and so it is interesting every single leg.
Yeah, Oiska's saying that the float version of the Kodiak is planned, but has not been released yet, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. But there's already released the float version of the Twin Otter. I already tried it, but it's
that's it.
terrible, difficult to steer that thing on the ground, on the water.
Oh, that's a shame.
Terrible difficult because it has no water rudder. You have to have to navigate during differential thrust, and the differential thrust in this aircraft is working terrible. You simply can't do that. It's crazy. You can't only land and program your smart cars and take off again. You can't go to don't know the word for in English for an Steg.
So pier.
On the pier, yeah, exactly on the pier. It is impossible. I tried it several times, half an hour, and it's impossible.
Okay. So Melting Lava said that 3.6 is mostly used at Stavanger, unless
Okay.
the wind says otherwise.
Shall we change?
Yep.
Okay, then
So
let's change.
procedure.
Go to heading first. First, go to heading.
Yep.
Set your heading on the actual course, then procedure.
So
Select road.
doing then the LPV 3.6.
Yeah.
And we'll do it via.
I would say vector. ACNAP. ACNAP would be good.
Now it is. And then we activate it.
Yep.
So we go direct ACNAP, enter, activate, enter,
And NAF.
perfect. Right, there we go. Lovely.
I mean, it's a very nice FMS here, this Garmin, and it's very modern and so. But I have to say, I find it more comfortable for the pilot, the Collins or the Airbus FMS systems.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to change a route, to enter a direct, so you don't have to manage to fiddle around with some dial knobs or so.
Yeah, but the thing, it's always, if you have many flights with that those avionics, it's going to be easier and easier to use.
Yeah, I already have 100 hours on this aircraft here, and it's still a little bit, not so easy to use than an Airbus.
Wow, look at the scenery. That's really nice.
You know, have some turbulences? No?
A little bit, yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, I do have. Just as you were saying,
yeah.
it was like, poof, it went down like 20 feet.
Yeah.
Hey, Eternal. Well, we're using Microsoft Flight Sim, obviously, and we have from flightsim.to freeware sceneries. I think Brenold Stavanger is also freeware, correct?
I think yes.
Yeah.
I don't know actually, but I can have a look.
I think it's in that set that you sent me there. Yeah. Pretty sure that you can download it flightsim.to. And yes, anybody's allowed to join. Yes, we're on the European West server, by all means.
Zulu Victor, yes, it is freeware scenery from flightsim.to.
Yeah, you're
What's
right.
the next one after is Valley Airfield, Echo November Victor Echo. Victor Echo, I don't have a scenery for that. It's default.
Sapphire, yeah, you were correct. I'm like, okay, your damper is on. It will do auto rudder, but it doesn't, so that catches me out every time. Kind of Airbus spoiled.
Good night, black box.
Caller in flight, nice. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a great weekend. Good night to you.
How is your opinion now about the fly-by-wire Airbus in regards of vertical navigation?
It's getting better, but it still has some issues, I think. Sometimes I can't exactly understand how it's calculated its descent path. So yeah, there's still work needs to be done there.
Okay. Yeah, some people say the Phoenix comes too late because fly-by-wire already implement all you need. But I'm a little bit skeptical about that statement.
Yeah, the Phoenix, regarding its underlying systems, it's gonna offer more stuff. So fly-by-wire is a fantastic product on its own regarding it being freeware, but again, Phoenix being payware. Oh, connection lost. Why is that?
The simulator?
Yeah, stream is fine. It's just that simulator is connection lost.
Yeah, sometimes it does that. I don't know why. Simply continue. Maybe later on it reconnects.
Yeah, so of course, Phoenix being payware, people have a different expectation. Simple as that. So if I had to pay for a piece of software, I expect it to work and I expect it to have certain features successfully connected again. Yeah. So that's something that puts more pressure on the developer, and so that's why I do think there will be a quality difference between Phoenix and fly-by-wire model.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I hope they will come out at some time in the near future, and not in the next year.
Well, I don't think next year. No, it will be this year. But so we have 3 aircraft lined up, haven't we? We've got PNG 737 going into kind of the latter stages of beta testing. We've got the Mad Dog 2080. And the Phoenix coming as well, so
yeah. We can do a guess which one comes first.
I think at the moment it looks like PMG is going to be first, but it's difficult to say.
They say all the time some statements, but you can't really know if it is true.
No. Right, I'm going to dial in 300 feet for the minimums. And Lena.
Yeah, 5 minutes to top of descent, exactly.
Oh yeah, the BAE 146, but it's not out yet, is it? It's we've seen it. Some streamers have streamed it, kind of pre-release stream. That's just so gorgeous. End of April. Thank you, Oyster. Yeah, thank you. End of April. There we go.
I think 500 feet dial-in is wrong. For the LPV approach, you have to set in 2,800. And 2,800 is the final approach fix at Ulzip.
Okay. Then we'll do 2.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. What's the difference? The wrong one? Here. 1,600 at Gurdu is the final approach.
Yeah, it has it also in the flight plan list.
It was because we changed the runway and had the wrong chart in.
Yeah, no worries. So 1,600, that's correct. Final approach fix altitude at Gurdu.
And VNAV is armed. Nice. And we don't have a very long descent.
Yeah. Yeah, so Cloud Dancer, my biggest hope is that at some point, so was it when the system update, was it 11 or 12? I think 11 is the one end of July or mid-July, where they said they're going to have improvements regarding DX12, its performance improvements, but also turbulence simulation should be better than, and that's something I'm looking forward to. So it's quite an exciting year. I mean, at least a lot of announcements have been made that sound very promising from Microsoft Flight Sim.
What I always find very sad is that the developers don't allow the beta tester streamers to stream their aircraft. I think we all know it is beta and a bug can happen, but it doesn't degrade the quality of the aircraft too much.
Well, I mean, at some point, like with the BAE 146, for example, I mean, they're like 3 weeks out before, or 4 weeks out before publishing, and some people have been allowed to stream it. So, I don't know, PMDG has literally allowed streaming only a couple of days, like 3-4 days before release, if I remember correctly. So, New Chewy, for example, he was streaming, was it last time 737 NGX or something, and he was streaming it like 3 or 4 days before release. So, I would think probably the same will happen. So, a certain selected number of streamers will be allowed to stream the PMG 737, but it'll be a couple of days only. So Oy says PMG 737 embargo will be likely lifted next week, and then streaming as well. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the aircraft does, if it's actually fulfilling the promises that they've published. And if it does, I mean, again, lifting the bar again regarding, or raising the bar for the quality of aircraft coming out. Okay, Bruno says when lifted the 747, the NDA, it took like 2 weeks. Okay, there we go.
But I think, for example, the Phoenix is almost completed. Maybe some small issues, and it should be no problem to already stream this one regularly. I don't know why they don't allow it.
That's up to the developers to decide. So once they're comfortable to showcase it, and without people start a shitstorm because of the issues that's still at hand, and start speculating too much. Oh, just noticed you can actually animate the Gasper fans. Or the Gasper outlets.
Can you activate?
Well, you can. Yeah, you can click on these. You can open, close them. Get some virtual air.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but it's good. I'm happy for the for the streamers that are actually making a living out of streaming flight sim content, because it's finally been a bit of a dry phase lately regarding the more premium titles, but now things are happening again, and again that will draw in people. It'll raise interest.
So, on final track now.
I love how the look at how the countryside now is all flat. The change in landscape is so nice.
And very quickly, here it is completely flat, and 5 kilometers to the right, the mountain starts.
Bruno says as well, the NGXU dropped out of nowhere. There was no marketing, teasing whatsoever. They just went NDA lifted, and a few days later it was out. Yeah.
But I think when they allow to stream it, they generate a big demand to that add-on, and when they come out, many more people will buy it. And for example, when you see now the Phoenix Airbus, and you see it is very nice, it is good simulated, and has not that much bugs. And the PMDG comes out first, and you can maybe think about to wait until the Phoenix comes out.
Well, I don't know how people see it in general. So you're going to have a fraction that says I'm a Boeing fan. I'm not going to get the Phoenix, I'm just going to get the Boeing 737. Then you've got those that say it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's Boeing or Airbus. If it's a good add-on, I'm going to get it. It's just to fly it. So they don't care about paying 100 for this and whatever for the other one, whatever the price is. And then we'll see. Well, I personally, for me as a content creator, obviously I'm gonna get all of the bigger add-ons for sure.
Yeah, me as well. I will get the Boeing as well as the Phoenix, of course.
Okay, final track. No, so we're using custom weather, because if you use live weather, everything's covered in white snow, so it's just not so attractive to look at. Right, here we go. So on final approach, so once we step descent down to 1600, so once we are at the final approach point, that's where we hit the approach button, not prior to that. So we're going to step descend down to Piduk and then down to Gurdu, and at Gurdu that's when we hit the approach button for the LPV. And so LPV,
maybe a second before.
Yeah, so normally what we say in the Airbus, you don't press the approach button on the RNP or RNF approach until you are actually inbound to your final approach fix, not prior to that.
Yeah, exactly, but not exactly on the final approach point, then maybe it's too late.
Yeah.
Probably some seconds before.
So here comes the path again.
And you can see in the primary flight display is the GPS and LPV marked out in magenta.
Let's see.
In the rows, in the middle of the rows. GPS on the left, LPV on the right.
Oh, you mean the diamond there?
Oh, there's the words GPS and LPV is in right and left on of the magenta line in the primary flight display. Found it?
No, maybe because I'm not in yet inbound to the Gurdu yet. That's probably why.
Ah, okay. You have there something else already press approach? No.
No. So I'm in
Ah,
down,
okay.
good and out.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to start pressing the approach button. There we go. Yeah, so I've got that diamond there for the approach.
Oh, it's shaking.
Let's see, first set of flaps here. Yeah, now I've got GP, so glide slope active.
And LPV. Yeah.
Yeah, on the right. Yeah, LPV and GP. So there we go. So that's localizer performance with vertical guidance. And it behaves just like a normal localizer glide path. Although this is not a physical kind of beam from the ground, this is calculated by the onboard systems. And so the sensitivity is kind of synthetically increased as you approach the runway, and that gives you then a more detailed guidance towards the runway. And hence you don't have to consider so many obstacles in the approach path. So it's different if you have a linear path here. You have a lot more obstacles to consider. If you have a kind of a V form towards the runway, there's a lot of obstacles you don't have to consider anymore. And that's the advantage of LPV, and that's why you have lower minimums with LPV compared to RMP or RNAV.
So we taxi to the apron.
Yeah, and after this landing run, I'm going to call it a night. It's getting late, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll do, well, next week sometime when I'm streaming again, we'll do another flight or two.
Okay. Have you already a date for that?
No, so I can only speculate because I have standby duty. I don't know exactly when I'll be back home. But it'll be more in the region Thursday or Friday next week. Maybe Saturday even.
Yeah, no problem. I'm
But
away either.
Yeah,
From
so
on Wednesday.
but that's the weekend after this one, so not this weekend. So it's more like, what, 16th, 17th of April.
We'll say the airport is looking nice for freeware. But I don't know where the general aviation parking is here.
So it's interesting, it's kind of struggling to keep the path. It's always dipping just slightly below the glide slope.
Yes, it was. For me, it was 4 red until I deactivated the autopilot.
What about snow? You just saw snow? No, yeah, I know there's some regions in the world where you still have snow, but to give an example, when I spawned into Innsbruck this afternoon, trying the new scenery there, or what new, but I installed the Innsbruck scenery from Orbix, and I just wanted to have a look at it, and I went to live weather, and suddenly everything was covered in snow, even though the METAR says it's plus 15 degrees Celsius. So I just find that a bit unrealistic. That's alright, so now I'm on 2 red, 2 white. Oh, did you just go around, Brennan, or?
Oh, I'm already on a parking.
Okay, so there's some aircraft just took off, it seems.
Maybe. Okay. Found the general aviation parking. Nice.
So strange enough, here I have 20 knots headwind, no crosswind it seems. And I have 3 red, 1 white. Yeah, so it's doing that really nicely. Yeah, 2 red, 2 white now. 3 red, 3. No, it's doing it really nicely. I like it.
I think when it don't exactly the LPV fit to the parpies, then it's not the responsible of the G1000 or of the aircraft. It is maybe then a scenery issue.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And I find sometimes that the Parpy light's a bit too sensitive, so you know, small deviations cause things to go, you know, change the lights too quickly. Crosswind coming in now.
If you manage to stop before the crossing runway, then you can turn to the left on the crossing runway, and then a little bit later can go right, and then you are here.
Okay, so short foot line coming in.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Go on.
10.
There we go. Easy. Bit left of center line, I'll give you that, but so you mean taxi down the runway left side and then
Left side, and then I think 2 or 3 exits later you can turn right. I think you can already see me.
but you're not parking at the main terminal, are you?
No, I'm on the general aviation here. Maybe it's helicopter
okay.
parking, I don't know.
No, now I see you. There he is. Oh no, hang on, that's not you, is it? There it is. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
turn right now.
Oh, yeah, it just looked a bit weird because I couldn't see landing gear. Sorry. Tires squeaking.
Low, and then to the left.
Yep.
And here I am.
Right, got some more questions before we leave. Nothing new regarding Phoenix. Well, there's nothing that I'm allowed to report, so no, I can't say anything about the Phoenix. I was happy. I think it was better landing. Our visits at your airline still allowed or forbidden because of? You mean? I mean, I think you know cockpit visit in the sense that when you board the plane or deboard the plane. That was always possible. I mean, you have your mask on. I never, you know, said to anyone you're not allowed to come to the flight deck because of Corona. So it's more a matter of, you know, do you wear your mask and
Pull the prop lever to feather backwards,
Yeah.
and then have to wait 30 seconds before cut off.
Bob, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll see. Standby is always exciting because you never know what you're going to do, what flights you're going to get. It's only bad when you don't get any duty, so you sit around for 3 days, talk to yourself, and then you don't get any duty.
So this was a nice flight.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely beautiful. Man, that's...
And many more beautiful legs are coming up.
nice. Right, let's have a look here. Yeah, so Stavanger, I mean, it's a fairly basic simulation here, but as freeware, I mean, you can't really complain. But you saw the terrain, sort of surrounding landscape, absolutely beautiful. One thing I do remember, I stayed here pretty much around midsummer, in end of June, and I remember that we went have dinner, and then we came back, and it was like 10 in the evening, but it looked like it was, you know, 6 in the afternoon, or it's not 6, but 4 in the afternoon or something. And then I went to sleep because we had early shift, and then I remember waking up at 1 in the morning, and the sun was actually already rising again. So it really just touched the horizon and then went up again. So it didn't really become completely dark. I mean, it did go below the horizon, but it was still, you know, not completely dark. That was so weird.
Yeah, we are way up here in the north,
Yeah.
so it's normal. And when you go across the polar circle, then the sun will not go down the complete night.
Yeah. Do you actually stream on stand? No. So when I have standby, I'm not home. I have to go because I work in Frankfurt, but I live near Bremen, so I have to commute to Frankfurt for my duty. And because standby means you have to be able to be in the cockpit within 60 minutes of activation. So if I get the call from my crew scheduling colleagues, then I have to be able to be in the flight like within 60 minutes. So that's why I have to be in a hotel in Frankfurt. So that's why I can't stream when I'm on standby. Yeah, exactly that. You find the black panel background the Kodiak ugly. My panel background the Kodiak is dark red. Is it really? So I don't know if there's any possibilities of changing that, but I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those things that some people mind and others don't. I mean, like, I don't really. That does not kill my immersion really. It's more things like flight model. Maybe sounds as well, or very stuttery kind of flight dynamics or video dynamics that really stop my immersion.
Right. I think the panel background color is made by the livery. Is maybe the livery maker can change it.
Yeah. Right. So finish the flight. File a PIREP. Very important. Just waiting for the answer. There we go. PIREP filed. Nice. One last question. Does your airline pay for the stay? No. No. So that's my own money. And every year. So pre-COVID, I paid about 6,000 to 7,000 euros a year for traveling and hotel expenses.
That's a lot.
That is a lot, yeah. But that's one thing about commuting. So, on the other hand, the housing prices when I bought the house here were like half of the price, compared to a house in or near Frankfurt. So, I saved a lot of money on that end. Clown Dad said you can't change it. Okay. Well, good. Eternal, thanks so much. Thanks for joining. Thanks for everyone hanging out today. Thanks for all the support. Thank you so much, Brendel, as well, for making this tour. Very enjoyable.
Welcome.
As always. And stay tuned. On Discord, I will announce when I'm back for streams. And who knows? Some more news coming out next week. We'll see. Anyways, guys, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Good night, everyone. And before I leave, thank you, my dear moderators, as always. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the hard work, and make sure that everything's running smoothly here on the stream. Good night, everyone.